everyone. Yeah, so in today's video I'm just going to talk about transitioning from childhood to adulthood, because that's the main stage. Transitioning from childhood to adulthood, because I've seen a lot of people who are grown-ups but they are unable to transition. You see someone at 40 years, but he does things that you see that he's not yet, hasn't transitioned yet. So transitioning, in simple terms, is just a stage of moving from one point to another. Childhood, as you know, from just being an infant, not then adulthood, it's just about taking full responsibility of your life. Yes, so transitioning, or how you can transition, it's very simple. You have to sit down and you set your priorities right or straight, because as an adult you're expected to be responsible for all actions that you do, whether they are the words that you share, that you say on social media. It can be on a Twitter space and you say something that is insightful or hate speech. As an adult, you're fully accountable, and it can even land you to some good time of imprisonment. But as a child, you can be corrected. As you know, in our African culture or African setup, that once a young child or a child misbehaves, you're supposed to be corrected honestly, thereby you'll be given some strokes, so that you change on your character. But as an adult, you have to be, you should have full responsibility of anything that you say, whether online, whether physical, because physically you can insult someone and you get your punishment immediately there and then, or they can even just forgive you. Because last night I was on a TikTok live and I saw someone who was like, this is someone who has been abusing people all over social media. He attacks this one, then but after he made a confession that he has been paid to do all what he has been doing. So he was like, he has reformed, so he needs some financial assistance to help him leave that business. Or because for him it was like a business. He gets paid to abuse people for a living, so he wanted to transition and get something to keep him busy, because that is not something that you can wake up and you'll be like, I'm associated to, or I'm a professional insulter or abuser. So all in all, he tried to negotiate, but people said no, we know you, because you're an adult, you're over 18 years of age. So if you want money, you have to work for it. As an adult, you're not going to be begging around that people need to help you. Though it's acceptable and it's right that you can get money from friends, relatives, or family, but in actual sense, as an adult, you have to take full responsibility, because you're no longer a child that you're going to be given. The same way you say a child or a student can be given upkeep, whether you're at campus, whether you're at high school, whether at primary institutions. So there you can be given, but as an adult, you have to now scratch for yourself. You have to sit down and realize that this world is hard, and you have to come up with a solution to solve a problem, so that you can get some money. Because someone can give you, let me say, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, or any amount of money, but after some time that person will get tired of you. They will not be giving you every day. That's not a source of livelihood. You're supposed to get some little capital and inject it into a business that you have well researched about, not just getting money and then you dump it into somewhere. Yeah, so as an adult, there are so many things, because you have to do a lot of research on how adulting, or how you can become even a parent, because even being parenthood is just it's something that needs to be self-taught. No one will tell you that a father is supposed to come at this time for work. A father is supposed to do his responsibilities. These ones you're going to Google, you're going to read a lot of books, you're going to talk to mentors, you're going to talk to different types of people to help and encourage you and groom you to become that wonderful parent. Because most of us, when you look at us, you can find that my mom is like the father to the family. Then you see the father, then the father is, sorry to use this word, but almost useless. That the father is alive, but the role is not well played. You find in some instances, you find the mother is that kind of person that is alive and available, but is failing to meet the obligation of a parent or as an adult. So everything can be self-taught, you can be mentored, you can be groomed to become somebody of integrity, and at least you have to own some responsibilities. You not be that adult who will engage into, let me say, intercourse, because of lack of a better word, that you're going to engage into intercourse, then you impregnate someone's daughter, then you start denying. As an adult, you're not supposed to deny, because your actions are fully accountable. So all in all, as an adult, there are so many things that we need to do. Because for me, I'm now an adult. I'm no longer a child. I know what I'm doing. I cannot just wake up and like, I don't know what came into my mind. No, everything you do as an adult. Because I remember I also saw a video on YouTube, this very platform, and I was surprised that someone who is even a senator, of a certain province in US, who was involved in drugs, and he was unable to reason properly. He was filmed and recorded stripping, so he was called at the Council of Representatives, and they were all angry at him. As an adult, why are you doing such? Don't you know that you represent a lot of people? You're becoming a disgrace. We request for your resignation. Of course, in normal workplaces, of course you resign and you part ways. But for him, he was a little bit hesitant, that he never knew what he was doing. But at the end of the day, he finally confessed and he resigned. So as an adult, every action that we do comes with a consequence, and those consequences can be either negative or positive, but it will depend on how you conduct yourself. Because in our generation, it's where you can see in open space that someone can say a very vulgar word, and people just look on, people smile, people look unbothered. Yet in the previous generations, when someone utters a very bad word and is an adult, straight away the community will discipline that person. They will give him strokes, they will give him punishments, corporal punishments. These days, because of the human rights interventions and that advocacy, that most of those punishments have been removed, and which has resulted into having such characters or vices in our society. But all in all, as an adult, if you're transforming from childhood, there are some vices that you're supposed to stop so that you can be a role model to somebody, because we are supposed to leave a legacy. Much as that on this world that we have very limited time, but we have to leave a positive footprint that someone who will come like 30 years, or let me say 100 years from now, when I'm not in this world, will fall in this video and will know that, yeah, at least I spoke some sense when this whole world was becoming senseless. Because we see all those bad vices, but it's very hard to find an adult who can come out and be like, I'm defending the moral cause or the moral values of a given institution. Because most of our leaders are corrupted because of money, and there is that new and ongoing trend whereby someone just becomes unbothered because the problem or that vice is not affecting his or her kids. Because you can see that some people advocate for things that you see are completely immoral, but looks at it in a perspective that those are their rights. But if you look and you ask, do you also have such a vice in your family? What is their response? They'll be like, no, don't bring my family into these things. But you see, so we need a lot to benchmark, because as an adult, we have to analyze what is taking place in the world. What are the consequences of those actions? Because we are seeing like wars, we are seeing floods, we are seeing very many bad things. And we are seeing economic recessions, we are seeing strikes. That's the negative part. But there's also the positive part, whereby we are seeing a new rise of activists who are saying that human rights are being violated by some governments. We are seeing that education systems are now improving, the employment policies are now being implemented, there is some economic transformation. So now that's the positive part. So as an adult, you have to weigh both parts, that you see this side and then you weigh the other side. Then you decide on where are you heading, or where is it taking you, before you make any conclusions. Yeah, so that's all from me, and I wish you a lovely day. See you next time.